Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law through this channel. I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this, this is a journey of investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategic or compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. Still currently on vacation, so the videos are not as regular as they used to be, but I am still trying to catch up with what's happening in the markets and in MMTLP. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at some key issues with regard to brokers and also questions with regard to subpoena and why we may not have had that so far, and what a interesting theory is with regard to the subpoena. We're also going to be looking at ticker symbol LUNR, also known as Intuitive Machines, which is a stock and a company that have just broken records. So stay tuned for that. And it's also a stock that has been featured a number of times on the channel. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first headline here from Bloomberg: Asian shares climb high as equities hit record highs, and also overall Australia, Korean stocks opened higher. Hong Kong did well. And in other significant news, we know that Nvidia has posted the biggest ever one-day market cap boost. So great news there for Nvidia. And in other business news from Fox Business here, we can see in terms of the US national debt tracker for February 2022 to 2024, we can see that US national debt is climbing at a rapid pace and currently, unfortunately, is not showing significant signs of slowing down. So long term, not a great situation for the US economy in terms of debt. But just to finish off, in terms of Wall Street Journal, again focusing on Nvidia, the Nvidia's AI party is far from over. So they have had outstanding earnings, and I think in terms of Nancy, congratulations to her. She's done exceptionally well in Nvidia, obviously without any inside information. And the last thing I'm going to share with you is a picture, thanks to Tiffany Fong for updating us, and that is Sam Bankman-Fried. Now there are some missing people on there, and I'm sure we can sort of identify who should be those missing people standing right now next to Sam. By following on from some of the key issues and confusion shared by the brokers in terms of moving your shares to AST. So the good news is the company have released a press release, and we're going to have a look at that press release with some updated information, which I believe you should be aware of. So this press release, we can see here, the company has stated it's a press release regarding Equinity's share transfer procedure. So this is an important update. So we're going to have a look at this now. So first of all, what they have stated, there has been obviously an acknowledgement here. There has been some confusion amongst the public and brokers as to the transfer process for Next Bridge Hydrocarbon shares, you're telling me. And also, as such, Equinity, which was formerly AST, has shared with us that it wishes to inform both domestic and international, such as myself, Next Bridge Hydrocarbons retail shareholders alike, of their official workflow and protocol for transferring of Next Bridge common shares into the Equinity system. So this is a key update. So Equinity was formerly AST, and now it is Equinity. So that's the key and significant change, and it's good that they've addressed not only US investors, but they've also addressed international investors in Europe, Canada, Australia, worldwide, like myself as well. And they go on to say that the transfer process is always initiated by shareholders. So it's not down to your broker to move your shares. You must request that yourselves. And it states here, themselves through the respective brokerage. At no time is it a responsibility of the shareholders to open an Equinity account. So you no need for you to do that. That is the responsibility of the broker. So again, good clarification from the company here, which is what we needed. Brokerage firm previously holding shares in street name, which like many currently are, including my broker, who is also holding my shares in street name. For the holders, will supply Equinity with a transfer of ownership form indicating the holder's personal and financial information. So from a personal point of view, this is something that I would like to happen for my shares. And Equinity will create an account for the shareholder. Equinity will mail the shareholder an account statement. So that will be proof of your holding of MMTLP shares with Equinity. And these can then be used to register and enter our shareholder shareholder central online portal. So it looks like the company are making significant progress in getting the share count and getting people and encouraging them to move their shares now with Equiniti, and in some instances your shareholders may receive a paper stock certificate from their brokerages firm. So I believe this has also happened. It's a little bit more risky because if you lose your certificate it could create significant problems. But what they are saying is shareholders can ship the stock certificate directly to Equiniti. So if you have these paper certificates, you can mail them off to convert the paper certificates into book entry shares to be held electronically. So from a personal point of view, I think it's much better to hold them electronically than in paper form, because you can't really lose your shares in electronic form. So either way, it states here the holder's share balance and account information will be securely recorded with the Equiniti system. So this is the key update, and again, whether or not you move your shares or you don't move your shares into Equiniti, that is entirely a personal decision, but I did cover the pros and cons of this in a recent video. So following on from the instructions and clarification provided by the company, I'm going to have a look at some reactions from some of the investors sharing information with regard to what the brokers are doing to the retail investors. So first shout out here is to Paul and Blair, and what Blair has stated is second update, call Fidelity for the third time, told them I just spoke with AST/EO and that the only electronic transfers were allowed. A supervisor got on the line and said Fidelity is capital letters no longer transferring any Next Bridge. So that's quite staggering from a Fidelity point of view, and I would like them to give a reason why that is. The reason you are no longer transferring is because you do not have the shares, and if that is the case, why do we not just simply get the truth? And however, what Blair has also stated is 20 minutes early they were fine with paper certificates, and now nothing, because we've just seen the update that the company would be happy to accept the paper certificates and convert them for you into electronic form. So that's Fidelity. So shout out now to Zach, who's shared some correspondence with Webull, and he stated here in the message that he shared, I would like to ask if I wanted to transfer my Next Bridge Hydrocarbon shares to the transfer agent EQ, formerly known as AST, what would be the steps I would need to take? So what they've stated, as of now, we haven't received any formal update regarding the next wave of transfer to AST. You will be notified when available. So it looks like Webull are also allegedly here seemingly unwilling to transfer MMTLP shares. So not great news here. And just to finish off, shout out here to Pocahontas, who stated, yes, what is going on with Fidelity, E-Trade Station, many more. They're talking about transfer windows, paper certificates, high fees, 3 to 6 weeks and more. What a mess. And obviously hashtag FINRA fraud, and this could have been prevented huge time ago by FINRA by not having the U3 halt. So by having the U3 halt, they have created uncertainty, they have created people not able to get their shares, and they stated the U3 halt was entirely to avoid this. Let's now have a look at the latest rumours, opinions and overview in terms of what may be happening with regard to the subpoena. So first shout out here to Michael, who stated, serious question, has the MMTLP community given up on the Congress being the vehicle to move us to a resolution? Obviously, he's also stated here something isn't right. He suspects there may be liaisons between Next Bridge Hydrocarbons in terms of the community knowing much more about our progress, or should we say lack of progress. I do believe there has been a lack of progress in terms of news with regard to the subpoena. However, I don't believe that it is not yet impossible to achieve. I still think campaigning to Congress is the right thing. I also still believe that it is still entirely possible, because we've not had final words yet from many of the significant Congress people who are obviously taking on the battle for MMTLP. What Torchlight has stated here, there is only one person he trusts in this situation, and that is McCabe. I certainly do trust McCabe as well, and that is why he has elected to transfer another large portion of his shares to AST. So what I'm now going to share with you is an opinion, and this is an opinion from Dennis with regard to what may be happening behind the scenes with regard to a subpoena. But again, what I may say with regard to this opinion is you could, if you wish to take this with a pinch of salt, or you may also wish to read a little bit more into this.
That ball forward every time. So with the interviews we're doing, we're constantly asking what should happen next. For example, guys, here's my prediction. Ralph Norman of South Carolina has valiantly called for subpoenas. Now, he says on my podcast a couple weeks ago that two guys in particular, McHenry and Comer, are the ones who have the power to ask for a subpoena. He doesn't do it. He's got to get them to do it. Well, my producer kind of took a quick look at the campaign contributions, and McHenry, who's leaving office, the guy's top contributors are all big Wall Street hedge funds, the very people who are probably protected by FINRA's action that it took against MMTLP. And then you look at the other guy, Comer, and he's got bigger fish to fry. He's thinking impeachment. So will he really be willing to dive down into this issue unless it can be broad enough to all investors? But also one of his biggest donors, Elliott Hedge Management, another hedge fund. And so my concern or a question is, are these guys going to follow through on Ralph Norman's request and truly issue subpoenas? Because they should, but will they?
And finally, we're going to finish off by having a look at ticker symbol LUNR, also known as Intuitive Machines. This is a company that has been featured a number of times on the channel, and it's also a company that have just made history. So let's have a look at a recent post from the company tagging in Bill Nelson, and this who stated, "Today, for the first time in half a century, America has returned to the moon, and on the 8th day of a 250,000-mile voyage, Intuitive Machines aced the landing of a lifetime." So great news there here for LUNR. What a feat for IM, SpaceX and NASA. What a triumph for humanity. And what the company have updated us with just a few hours ago, I've stated, after troubleshooting communications, flight controllers have confirmed that Odysseus is upright and starting to send data. Right now, we are working to download the first images from the lunar surface. So this is a company that we have been keeping an eye on. We will continue to keep an eye on. And I think so far the news is exceptional. So the news was also shared exclusively in the Discord, where we looked at not only ICU, we also looked at LUNR in terms of the breaking news. And what we also looked at in terms of the watch list. Remember, this is a stock that we have been watching, and when we first looked at it first week, it was up in excess of 18.5%, and we're going to have a look at the chart for it shortly. But let's get perspective on this from CNBC, who stated, "Intuitive Machines land on the moon in historic first for a US company." And obviously in terms of the cargo lander, which is named Odysseus after the mythological Greek hero, this is the first US spacecraft to land on the moon's surface since 1972. And also the company is the first company to pull off a moon landing. Government agencies have carried out all previous successful missions. So this is outstanding for the company here in terms of creating history as well. Let's focus on the trading side of things. So the company's stock surged in extended hours Thursday. Before that, it was obviously falling 11%, and that is where you could say is a test of the diamond hands for people who have the belief. So let's have a look at the chart. We can see close of play before the post-market started. It was down 11.16%. One of the key reasons why it was down is obviously if anything goes wrong, then there would have been a huge downturn in the share price. Luckily, that didn't happen. So let's have a look at what happened in the post-market, and in the after hours, we can see it is up in excess of 37.19%. So great news for everybody holding LUNR, Intuitive Machines, and congratulations to everybody who took profit on this. If you would like to get breaking news and more stocks such as LUNR, you can certainly join us in the channel, and details are description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.